All right, guys. All right, guys. Looks like we are going live here. Just a couple minutes before the top of the hour. So I typically start with a little hello. It's me. We're live. It is September 16th today, and yeah, hopefully we'll have a good turnout. Looks like we've already got some people on. So what I typically do is a screen share so that we can keep track in the recording of the actual questions that get posted. So let's see what we've got here. Yeah, I got a good sound check, so we're good there. Hide this error box. Yeah, Steven Snowman, the little ads are placed because this is a free chat box, so those are not something that anybody in the group is doing. Those just kind of come with the territory for this little smart chat box. Something I found when I was trying to figure out the right technology or the technology that I wanted to use to run my coaching sessions. So maybe I should just go ahead and pay the whatever money to get it off of there. It's kind of a hassle. I'm actually glad you mentioned that. Need to do that next time. Okay, so for anybody who is on for the first time, I'm Fletch. I'm one of the kind of, I guess, trainers, coaches, office hours guys within OMG. And the way I run my office hours are pretty much anything's fair game. If it has to do with SEO, if it has to do with money getting, mindset, conversion, whatever it might be, anything's kind of fair. Greg typically handles a lot more of the hardcore SEO, especially regarding some of the anchor text and URL combinations. Usually for the first few minutes of each office hours, I'm kind of in and out of live Q&A because I typically keep checking my emails and things like that. And I've got a couple people here that I need to respond to real quick. So give me 1 second, and let me get these people directed in the right place. I assume that since everybody's on today, you know how to get here. But in case anybody's watching this on replay, the login details for office hours for myself or Greg or Mike are always going to be found in your membership area on the news feed or on the pages that are specific to either Mike, Greg, or myself. So Mike and Greg typically run theirs from GoToWebinar. Mine is run on my own private website here. So if you need to sign up for a GoToWebinar, the links will be in the newsfeed in the membership area. And for mine, you just click on the Fletch page, and there will be login details there, including passwords that may or may not change depending on when you joined us. So let me just type this up real quick. Copy that just in case I need to. All right, now we're ready to go. So let's see there. All right. Yeah, should be good. Okay, cool. Yeah, Brian, looks like you're in. Make sure, this is another kind of just little piece of information. Since all these pages look the same, just make sure that you're on the right page for today. If you look up at the top of your screen, if you've got a browser that shows you the title tags, it should say Project Juggernaut Office Hours 9/16/14. So that will let you know that you're in the right place. The placeholder video sometimes will be from a previous session, so that's a good indication that you may need to navigate to a different page. But just because you are typing in the chat box that we are all working with, this chat box carries through as well. So it shouldn't be too confusing. We're all SEO, so hopefully we can figure out the right page to be on. But from time to time, that is something that's kind of a little bit of a, it's a little hard to figure out if you don't know to look for it. So anyway, all right, we got Stephen, Brian, yep, you're on. Who else did I see down here? Michael's on. Okay, cool. All right, guys, so like I said, anything's fair game. Usually run Q&A depending on how busy we are. I can also get into some over-the-shoulder live demonstrations. You know, if people want to check out, you know, what I do to go through and look for expired domains, or how I would look at a market or do some keyword research or something like that, that's all something we can cover here. So in addition to that, there is a little bit of a lag time with the Hangouts. Usually doesn't cause any problems whatsoever because it typically takes me a little bit of time to answer questions. You know, Greg and I each have our own style, and mine tends to include a lot of kind of conversational style stuff. So I try to keep up with questions as quickly as I can, but there will most likely be some time between the time you type a question in and the time I'm actually able to get to it and answer it. So going from there, let me know where you guys are in your kind of online journey. I typically, most of my sessions are for people who are really kind of working on the money getting part or are just starting out, and I have been there very recently. You know, a year and a half ago is when I joined OMG, and previous to that I did not have any experience whatsoever with online marketing or specifically with SEO. So sometimes I can help those particular people out effectively, particularly effectively, just because it's pretty fresh in my mind as to what that experience feels like. So I know we've added some recent content, especially for getting some lower priced PBNs, and in addition to that, protecting our PBNs even more. We had a webinar that we ran on Sunday that was with some of the folks from Network Empire. Jimmy Kelly, Russell and Sue were both on as well, and really kind of talked about some of the things that we can do to make sure that our PBNs are safe and will last a good long time. Primarily, that kind of comes down to making sure that Network Solutions is not your registrar. If you do have sites that are registered with Network Solutions, what you probably want to do is to go in there and transfer those to a different registrar, like GoDaddy or Namecheap. Those are the two that I like to work with the most. They're easy to work with, and they're as cheap as anybody else is. So you probably want to check if you've gotten domains from Register Compass at auction. There's a decent likelihood that you will have picked something up from them. I myself have several sites that I won from Network Solutions that are just happen to be money sites, so I'm actually in the process of transferring those back over as well. Okay, so got something here from Stephen. All right, getting back into SEO. Yeah, I remember I saw that post that you had. So what's the best way to start, day job killer or affiliate marketing? What I started with, Stephen, and what I've seen a lot of really people that have reached quick success, seems like many of them, the majority probably, are starting with day job killer. And there are two ways to do that. The way I chose to do that was to actually just sell leads, but you can also take on clients. That's probably the more common route within the group. The reason it is a pretty quick way to get up and going is because the dollar amounts on a monthly basis are pretty high. So if you can just get one or two clients that are each paying you $300, $400, $500, $1,000 a month, you're in a pretty good situation pretty quickly to not only cover your expense for growing your PBN and whatever work you need to do, but also from the standpoint of the amount of time and feedback that you're getting. So when you're working with a client, it's a little more complicated business because you do have some systems that you need to put in place for your own marketing to attract those new customers, to fulfill whatever obligations you have with them depending on the contract or the agreement that you sign, and really just to keep them in the loop as to what's going on. So It's a little bit more complicated than just going to ClickBank and finding an affiliate offer that you want to promote, but it is probably a quicker way to get up in the 4 and 5 figure per month range, especially if you don't have a lot of experience with online marketing. So, all right, Michael. Personally, whoops, where are we at here? All right, personally, I'd be interested in keyword market research or discussing the latest Excel Webby as opposed to finding expired domains. Okay. Tonight we spoke earlier, and just wanted to say I hit 10 sales today. Killer, killer. Real milestone. $380 today. That's awesome, Michael. I'm happy to hear that, man. That's a big day. Yeah, I'm impressed with that. That's cool, man. Yeah, and I think Michael, once I just got done talking to Stephen about local client consulting, Michael's got a website that is successfully selling affiliate products, and it's nice to, Mike talks about, I'll give one more little piece of perspective here. I'm going to go on a tangent for a second, but Mike talks about multiple streams of income and why those are so attractive, why you want to go that way. When I first got into OMG, I had not been exposed to online marketing a lot, but had seen enough about it to know that it was a lot of promotion, and people tended to say whatever they felt they could say and get away with to make more sales. Mike is an amazing promoter, but he does not do that. If he is saying something, it is well worth paying attention to. I actually did not give as much attention to some of the specific things that he was saying in his promotions because I thought they were just marketing, right? It's not the case at all. What he says, and even in his promotions what he says, are invaluable pieces of advice. Multiple streams of income is incredible because, as Michael just pointed out there, his affiliate site, once it's up and going and ranked and converting, that's money that he just gets paid every day. There'll be days when he makes more than others, but for the most part, it is something that is kind of on autopilot once you get it set up and get it successful. Greg's KLKS example is a perfect example of that. So getting into doing both, definitely something you want to look into. That's one of the reasons that Mike and Greg and David decided to put together that My City Guide concept and that recent over-the-shoulder series that was released. It's something I'm currently designing and getting ready to launch, so it is a site that will let you be able to not only pick up local clients as an SEO consultant, but also promote affiliate products. So it's kind of a hybrid site, which is a cool idea. All right. Where are we here? Okay, Pat. I'd like to know more about keyword research and getting articles written. Okay, cool. So I'm going to make notes about some of this stuff. Some of this stuff I won't launch into immediately or directly. Other times I will. It just kind of depends on the questions and how things are flowing. Keyword research, articles. Michael had another concept he was going to talk about. Latest acceleration levy. Yeah, keyword and market research. So some market research stuff too. Awesome. Just jot some notes so I don't forget here. Okay, Eric. I'm on to day 2. All right, hi Fletch. Our first local client sales meeting when selling your initial client SEO services. How do you convince the first client of your skills and results? Which site did you point them to as an example? Okay, so Mike and David and Greg have actually opened up the ability to show like the Nashville SEO sites as an example to potential and prospective customers. So what you can do is go in there and show them the Nashville SEO sites as an example of what you do. Even though it's not your site, it is the group that you belong to and the methods that you employ to achieve results. The way you can approach that very effectively is to say that you are not able or willing to show all of the sites you work with because they are client sites, but what your group has done is to put together an example site so that the members are all able to demonstrate to the clients proof that they can do what they are selling, and you can go that way. Me personally, what I do again is to primarily sell leads. So you still have to come up with the ability to prove that you can do what you do. I'm on a pay-per call basis now, but I do receive payment up front. The thing that I do in that case is to get a site up and ranked and send them a few free leads before I call them. So they already are aware of the fact that I can deliver leads to them before I call and try to sell them. That's one of the reasons I chose that model. There is some training that is going to be about that specifically that's coming out, that's on David's plate. It's training that I created. That David is always responsible for the content when we release it, how it gets positioned, and all that kind of thing. So I talk about it quite a bit in the 60-Day Day Job Killer series that I put out. That's on the Fletch page there, and you can look more into that if you're interested in it. But if you are, really, have your mindset on local SEO as a client basis, which I take as well. I've got local clients that I do SEO work for, but the bulk of my business is selling leads. So yeah, you can use the Nashville SEO sites as an example to show your clients, and it's really good. Actually, the question that you posed here is a great question, because what it means is that you're thinking ahead about how that conversation is going to go, and being prepared at that level is what's going to not only kind of lower the stress of cold calling or client meetings or whatever it might be, but it's also going to put you in the best place to succeed when you do have those opportunities. So yeah, if you've got further questions, go ahead and get those in the box. But otherwise, that's kind of what I would go with there. All right, Brian, can you give some advice on how to sell affiliate products for a local market, product examples, niches, etc.? Yeah, Brian, I don't get into it a lot publicly. When I say publicly, just like out in the major Facebook group that we have, or anything like that, because it just, this is my bread and butter too. This is how I make money. But for people on my coaching sessions, I am more than happy to show some of that. So I've got several sites that are set up for pool service niches. So folks that are out shopping the internet for a new pool guy to come and back flush their filter, or clean their pool or whatever else. One of the things that inevitably will happen at some point in time for folks that have pool is that their pool pump will go out, or they will look at potentially upgrading it. And one of the things that is a very energy efficient upgrade for pool pump folks is something called a variable speed pool pump. Now, in most local markets around the country, there are rebates that are in place for pool pumps. And most of the utility companies that I know of will send out from time to time flyers about rebates that are available for folks to upgrade things. So, if somebody gets something in the mail and they're like, oh, hey, look, there's a $150 rebate here to upgrade my pool pump, let me jump on the internet and see who in town can give me some more information about this and may be able to come out and swap out my pool pump for me. So in those situations, what I do is typically build a lead gen site. So I will rank a site for variable speed pool pumps in a local market where somebody will be able to find it if they're looking for variable speed pool pumps. Now, off the top of my head, and when I started with this, it was built specifically to connect a customer with a local service provider. But what you get inevitably are some people that want to do it yourself. So not only will the page that they land on have the ability to call a local contractor with a call tracking phone number that I have set up, but in there also I talk about kind of a review of the brands of pool pumps that are the best to use. And this is actually something I did. This is my construction business. I know a lot about it. And so what I can do is to put an affiliate link for Amazon in there. And a variable speed pool pump costs like $1,100, give or take. Even if you buy it yourself, you still get the rebate. So I walk them through the process. If they want to do it yourself, You can order it here. This is the best price. This is the best brand. Once you get it, just call a pool guy to come out and install it for you, or an electrician to come out and install it for you. And as long as they are an approved contractor on your utility company's list, you can still qualify for the rebate and save yourself the markup that the electrician or the pool pump guy is going to charge you if he delivers or has the pool pump himself. So that's kind of an example of just a single page that could potentially generate leads, as well as I could sell affiliate products off of and make a commission. So an $1,100 pool pump, I think 7% or so is what I make on Amazon for that sale. So what is that? About $80 per sale. So I sell a couple, 3 of those a week. It's a good week because I also generate some calls. So that's kind of an example of a way to combine local SEO or local lead generation with affiliate products. Alrighty. That was Brian's question. All right, Steven says, got it now. Thanks. Awesome. Okay, Michael, great feeling I get when affiliate marketing is that it's all bonus earnings. Cool. I don't feel like I'm working for it anymore, just getting paid automatically. Now that it's all set up and done. Yeah, exactly, Michael. That's a great feeling. That's actually one of the cool things about the pay-per-lead thing, too, because it's kind of like once it's set up, those things are just out there, and you just get notified every time the phone rings for the business. You get notified every time you make a sale on Amazon or through ClickBank or whatever it is. And it's pretty much a hands-off thing. When you've got clients, you do need to, be more attentive to them. There's some added things that you need to do in the business just to make sure that you can, keep the client happy, because really that's what it takes to retain clients. And like I said, I love both of those. It's kind of an additional stream of income to have that as well. And sometimes I just want to get out and talk face-to-face with people and, kind of get them to help explain to me what the problems in their business are that I can help solve. So, all right, Brian, do you have a WordPress theme or template you can refer us to for pay-per-call and selling leads? Brian, most of what I do with all of my WordPress sites anymore is to use Genesis and Dynamic. Genesis is the theme, the main theme for the website. Dynamic is what's called a child theme. And the reason I do that is because that combination allows you pretty much infinite flexibility. It means that you only have to learn one theme to be able to create just about any WordPress site that you want to. So what you've got is kind of a hierarchy of, you've got your parent theme, your child theme, and then what's called a skin. So let me actually grab a piece of software here. I'll probably change screens. Where is my... Sometimes when I change screens it gets hung up and I have to reload it, so I'm always kind of a little apprehensive about doing it. But let's see if this is it. Yeah, so anyway, so what you've got is your parent theme. I'm going to share this after I type it up. And then you've got your child theme. And then you've got your skin. Stretch this a little bit. Okay, where's my... So I'll do a quick change of my screen here and show you what I'm talking about here. So what we've got here, the box on the left, is the parent theme. That is called Genesis. That's the one that there are 2 themes that work with Dynamic. Genesis is the one I recommend using. Genesis is going to be the parent theme, child theme Dynamic, and the combination between Genesis and Dynamic gives you the ability to modify tons and tons and tons of variables. We actually have specific training on how to use that theme combination. The Wild Country theme that Mike uses on the Nashville SEO site, that is in a lot of our demo videos, is an actual skin on the dynamic, on the Genesis dynamic combo. So that skin is essentially just a set of variables, CSS and some variable codes that get applied to dynamic and to Genesis. So once you find a skin that looks, pretty close to what you want, you can just install that skin real quick and then go in and tweak the variables. If you want to have, a wider sidebar, or you want to change the colors, or you want to get rid of, a header or the menus or whatever it might be, those are all options that are available to change within just kind of the dashboard in Dynamic and within Genesis as well. So that's the theme I always recommend. It's what I've got running on the spinal decompression site. I can pull it up real quick here. Let me share back over to the browser window I have. It's right here. Okay, so there are a lot of ways it can look. So this is just an example site I put together. It looks horrible, I get it. So it's not a great example of what Genesis Dynamic looks like. This is just an example site I put out there for our group so that they can understand ways that you can silo a local site. But this is actually the same theme as this site. Those are actually the exact same thing. So it's just a different combination of variables. That's why I recommend spending a little time learning this theme, because you'll be able to do whatever you want with it after you get a good handle on how to manipulate it. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, okay, yeah, and that's what I use specifically for my paper call and lead selling. And it just kind of depends. I like to make them look different. Things in the medical niche I make look different than things in the construction niche. Those are really kind of the two. I have three niches I work in. I work in construction. I work in kind of, alternative medicine like chiropractic and acupuncture, yoga, Pilates, that kind of thing. And then I also work in the travel and tourism industry. Those are really the three industries that I focus on. So once you kind of get a good feel for industries, it's a lot easier to understand the market. Your conversion goes up. Your speed you can deploy new projects is a lot shorter. It's a lot quicker. So that's why I do that. All right, Michael, as I mentioned earlier on Facebook, I have two old pages. Oh, yeah, your question, which I feel might be over-optimized. They have some old links going to them, both with 20 to 25 page authority. However, the few surviving links are press release links, which means I have a lot of identical anchors. Yeah, it depends on how deep you want to get into seeing how much quality those links, those existing links have, Michael. That would give you a pretty clear and definitive answer on whether or not you should 301 those over to a new page. Because what you can get into is a situation, even with the 301, where penalties will follow that forwarding. If it's only a couple links, it's probably worth just letting those pages go and going and drumming up a couple new links for it, because the last thing you want to do is to kind of, especially if this is that affiliate site that you've got that is generating some good income for you. If you wind up forwarding those over to something new, you can kind of compound the problems that were already on the old page. Now, because specifically what you're talking about, the problem being with anchor text. So if it were problems with on-page, if you had some weird URL structure that you wanted to change, or the title tags were, in conflict with the URL structure or something like that, then yes, you can 301 that. That's what Greg did on the KLKS site to get it kind of boosted after this last Panda update, and it worked really, really well. But if you've got issues with the anchor text, I would leave those pages just alone and not forward those over. So, Okay, second one, Michael, I'm considering redirecting URLs, but I want to know whether I should just start from scratch and whether I can reuse the content. Okay, so the content, yes. If it's on the same site, honestly, if it's just 2 articles, I would get 2 new articles written. Um, if it's a lot of written content like that, then I would get a couple new articles, Michael, as well. If it's logos and some pictures and things like that, yeah, not a problem. You can use those on the new site, on the new page, without any issue. But I would not forward 301 those. I would not forward the links over to a new URL. Pardon me, my throat's a little bit dry here. And I would also try to get 2 new articles, or however many articles that you're thinking about new pages. Looks like 2. So yeah, it's going to be worth it for you. You don't want to wreck a whole site because of trying to save 8 or 10 or 20 bucks or something like that. All right, Brian, do you use cost per lead in any of your lead gen funnels? Can you tell us where to find good CPL offers? Yeah, so Joe Marfolio is somebody I connected with pretty early in my kind of journey within OMG and within online marketing. And he talked a lot and taught me a lot about using kind of CPL or CPA, cost per action, offers on local sites. He's actually got some really good specific training. Let me see if I can find it for you really quick here. It's this one. No, it's not. I have to poke around a little bit here to find that for you. You see what I've got? That's where I was already. Ah. Okay, so it's organization. These are all background training. Not finding it right now. Might be in these 8-figure interviews though. Yeah. I was actually just looking at it a little while ago, so it's disappeared on me. Apologize. I don't want to hold up the whole group here while I'm digging around trying to find a specific video. Darn it. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. You know what, if I find it, I'll post it. Or you could actually probably send a message to Joe. Imagine he knows where it is, although he might not. Anyway, dig around. There's a specific few pieces of content and training that Joe Marfolio did, and it's about CPA on local sites, and it's really good. It's kind of the method. I've modified it a little bit, but it's a great way to get going because what you do is you aren't trying to rank for national terms, so your competition's much lower, but it's also something that people are very inclined to search for locally. And yeah, you can generate some good income that way. AF paying, I'm going to drop that in here for those folks who may be interested in CPA offers. AF paying is a network that has a lot of different CPA offers on it that you can promote. So it's got all sorts of good. Oh, I think Joe M is in the monetization first part. Let me see if that's the case. Field training. Yeah, nicely. Whoop. Come on now. There he is. Yeah, so Joe M on local CPA right here. I think that was Brian. Give you a big old shout out. Nicely done. Look at that. Always helpful. Thank you, sir. All right, cool. Okay, that was Brian's question. Do you possibly? So yes, I do. And then AFPang is the network that I typically use to go check things out. You can actually go to like AFPang, and it's a great place to research different niches and keywords. That's kind of one of my little secret undercover methods to find things that people are promoting or that they want to buy if you're able to generate leads. So those are typically a good place to find information on that. It's kind of some market research that I do. So Susan, there's an RSS theme. Would that be good to use? You know what? I saw that get promoted the other day, Susan. I did not check. I didn't click through and check it. Let's see what it looks like. RSS to me is like really simple syndication. Yeah, see, that's the thing, because it's RSS is such a common term in the internet, and specifically within WordPress. It's going to be hard to find that with SEO. You'd think they would be able to rank their own site for it, but I have not looked at that specifically, Susan. I can't answer that. I don't know. Oh yeah, so Michael's asking more about that. That AFPang is the one that I use. Let me type that in here real quick just so you guys can see what it looks like. Qzx899. Yeah, this is the one. So what you can do is kind of go through here and you know, find different, like if you wanted to promote like insurance. Yeah. Search here, and these are going to be networks or offers that this is a sponsored ad, so I typically skip that just like we do in Google. And you can go check out their networks and see what they're offering. So they've got different types of commissions. You can get CPA. CPA just means that you need to get somebody to click. You get paid for a click. CPL means you get paid when somebody actually fills out a form and submits it. And then CPS is cost per submission. So they have to submit some actual info to the network in some way or another. So let's go down here. The cool thing I like about AFPang is it's actually got affiliate reviews. These are other people who promote this product and can tell you about, you know, whether they pay on time, whether it converts well, all that kind of thing. This one's built in the UK. So it's also something you want to look at, where these are actually targeted, what their target market is. So yeah, great network. I knew very little about affiliate marketing when I joined. They were very patient with me. Yeah, so some of these offers, when you get into them, yeah, some, you know, they'll kind of plug themselves sometimes too. You can kind of read through and figure out what reviews you want to listen to. Some of these reviews, depending on what your experience is and what you've been approved for, you'll actually have to apply. So when you apply, typically they just want your information and they want to know where you are. They're going to have to pay anyway, so you need to get this information out there anyhow. It's kind of like signing up for ClickBank. You know, to promote, you have to give them some information, and after that, that's anything that they have as a product is available to you to promote. So okay. All right, Stephen. What about the conflict of interest with working on multiple doctor's office or construction companies, SEO day job? Yeah, so that's one of the things that you'll have to think about, Stephen. There's no answer I can really give you. I do not do that with SEO. Again, one of the reasons I chose, I thought long and hard. It's not like I just chose to sell leads. When you sell leads, you don't have that problem. I can have 15 different customers all in the same industry. in town here. They're only paying me for what they get, so it doesn't become an issue. If you do want to promote different doctor's offices, what you can do is be explicit with the keywords that you're going to go after. If it's in a major metropolitan area, those can be different, suburbs or regions of that city that you go after that way. But yeah, in any given market or any given keyword, somebody's going to be number one, somebody's not. And if you've got people that have, particularly egos that are involved with wanting to be number one, I've especially heard this about the law niche, which I do not work in, but that's something that you'll just have to feel for yourself. Like I said, I do not do it, and I can see why it would be something that would, professionally leave you in a gray area as far as ethics and stuff goes. But as long as you're, very explicit with how you define what you're going to be doing for them, what you're promising them, what you're going to be being paid for, then you don't have a problem. If you're getting paid to put somebody on the first page, you can still very ethically take 10 clients in the exact same niche and the exact same keyword, and they all can get what they're paying you for, first page. If you're promising number one, that's a different matter. So you'll kind of have to feel that out, and as you get, more, I don't want to say experience, but as you go through the process of customizing yourself to your market and deciding exactly what you're going to be, those details tend to work themselves out. But again, good question. Just kind of shows that you're thinking ahead, which is going to put you in a good place to have successful client meetings. So that's good. All right, Michael. Sorry. Let me elaborate. I think the on page of those two is also somewhat over-optimized. In fact, I think it's more likely by panel penalty than payment. Okay. Because the page is ranking on page 3, but you might still be right about starting from scratch. Yeah, if it's not too much extra work, Michael, I would still just kind of just recreate, the concept and the keywords and go after it differently, with a different URL. All right, keyword not stuff, but mentioned too much. URL title very similar. Yeah. I just move on. Put a new URL up, get a good title combination, and let those anchor text, power your rankings. All right, cool. Back up to caught up. So I'm gonna get some more water in me here. Get this tickle in my throat gone. Oh, another thing, guys, I didn't mention earlier was that we typically schedule these office hours to run 90 minutes. Mostly that's just functionally, as long as people can pay attention. I could sit here and talk forever, but people fade out and whatever. It doesn't mean we need to go 90 minutes. It doesn't mean we have to stop right at 90 minutes. So depending on the questions and whatnot that we have coming in, the energy, how big a group it is, how long it's taken me to get to the questions, there's flexibility there. Also, I totally understand the fact that some questions you may have are private in nature. Maybe not private, emotionally, but they do or would potentially, expose your keywords and your niche. And if you want to get those types of questions answered, it's not a problem to send an email over to me. We like to have most of the questions answered in these types of forums because it is very beneficial not only to yourselves getting the question answered in a way where I'm working back and forth with several people and describing it in ways that work with those, but what it also becomes is a resource for the group. All these office hours sessions are recorded and they wind up in our membership area for people to watch down the road. So most likely if you have a question, somebody else has that same question, and what it does is it helps us build up our community so that we're each stronger. So like I said, for the most part, we like to have these questions answered in the Facebook group or in these office hours live. But if there are some questions that are sensitive, feel free to email me. My email's in the membership area as well, and I'll get back to you. Like with those, it's a little harder to tell you I can get back with you immediately, just because I've got my own business to run. I've got several actually. I've got my family. Depending on when I'm working. It's not always an immediate answer back, but I will try to get back with you. If I do not get back with you in a day or two, feel free to hit me up again. It's more than likely that I either missed the email or I didn't get it put on my calendar so that I would remember to attend to it when I did have some time. So that's kind of a little more administrative oversight over the whole process. All right. Brian, is there any particular reason you are not in the legal niche? I'm just not fond of it. You know, to be 100% honest, I don't care for it. I don't particularly want to sign a contract where the person on the other end is the person who wrote it or knows a lot more about law than me. I think there are too many lawsuits as there is, and I do not want to help promote that kind of thing. So that's me. Like I said, that doesn't mean, no, that's the way the world is. I just don't want to mess with it myself, Brian. There's a lot of money in it, though, and I know a lot of people who are making really good money with it. So, like I said, don't let what I'm saying persuade you. It's just my perspective. All right, Michael, well, if there's no specific questions right now, any gems to share with us about keyword or niche research? So, like I said, let's jump over back to this. What is it here? I'm trying to remember. It's been most of the offers that I have, I've been in long enough that I don't use this, but I remember when I was first starting out, I'm going to show you two different things that I do, Michael, for keyword research. One of them is going to be on here. If I can find it, I remember it being in the sidebar, but I'm not seeing it. Let's just see what this is going to be. Yeah, so this is an offer that these guys will build your website, it looks like. Monetize your premium content. So these are like AdWords and things, it looks like. This is not one that's going to help you that much. This one, this is monetize. Yeah, these are just ad networks. So these are going to be based on whatever they decide to promote. What's this? Lock it. Yeah, so this is like password protection or content protection. That would be something you could. I don't know of anybody who is currently promoting, you know, password or content protection on websites. But if you wanted to rank a website for keywords along this niche, what you could do is go down and read through their website here and get some of the buzzwords and keywords that they're looking at. So, like that might be a keyword, hosted content locking system. Let's see what else is jumping out at me here. Of course, this is going to be something that's kind of a buzzword, but this would be something that would be, you know, potentially you can go a little longer tail, go with intelligent offer retargeting. Let's see where exit pop-up, right? That's going to be a keyword you could use. Mobile content locking system. See, well, they've actually even helped you. Most of these are bold. But this is one of the things you can do to go through and pick up some keywords. And then you can go back into the Google AdWords or Google Keyword Planner tool and see what, you know, see what's out there for it. See what the cost per click is. Kind of do some reverse engineering on keywords. So let's take this for example, Michael. This mobile content locking system. Okay, we're going to go over here to Google. And we're going to do a search for this. So, you know, these are the people that come up first here, this page. So looks like decent content, right? I'm not sure exactly what they're selling. I don't know anything about this niche, so I'd have to dig into it more. But I'm kind of showing you the process that I would do. So you can take this, and I'm on Safari here, so I don't have the Moz toolbar. Oops. So I've got to actually go use the Open Site Explorer to see what things are doing here. So we've got pretty big domain authority on this ee.co.uk. To this actual page, we've got 12 different root domains linking with 2,300 links. This is kind of what you can do with keyword research and competition research, is just essentially follow the same process of look at the quality of an expired domain. So we've got some social activity, we've got a lot of domain authority, we've got 12 links to a deep inner page, but that deep inner page does not have mobile in it, doesn't have a lot of things. So this may be ranking by default just because the see content lock, EE admits openly on its site. So I'm not seeing a lot of anything that has to do with the actual keyword that we were going for right here, mobile content locking system. All right, in here, it's not anywhere here, right? It's not in link anchor text. So even though we got a lot of domain authority and we've got what looks to be pretty significant links to an inner page like this and social activity, you still may be able to take them over just because they're not specifically trying to rank for that keyword. You'd have to try it a little bit. One of the things I would do is to maybe put a quick video out and optimize it for this keyword and rank it with a Fiverr gig and see if you get some views, see what you get going on there. So that's one of the things I would do. The other thing I really like to do, much along the same lines, is to do the same kind of thing in forums. So some of the videos that I shot early in my time working with OMG, I talk about this quite a bit. So, if you're getting in the prepper niche, which is something that I do work in on the affiliate side a little bit, the forums are just absolutely amazing. What you want to do, let's look at, I'll show you kind of what I do. So let's just take this one. Hopefully we don't have to sign up to get information. We'll see. Okay, so what we want to look at a lot of times is replies and views to see what's most active. Let's see if any, I'm just kind of, here we go. Worm compost. It's 299 views, 23 replies. So what we could do, oh, actually, something caught my eye right before I clicked over that, right here. Homemade outdoor wood boiler build. Okay, I almost guarantee you there's a product for this on ClickBank. If there's not, I actually have a book on my shelf about it. So what you can look at, this is actually an offer. Look, I have the skills and knowledge to build an outdoor wood boiler. Really want one. So I can heat my home. So something burns wood or wood pellets. So this would be a perfect opportunity to build out kind of a little sniper site, a site that's going to rank for a few keywords that have to do with, wood boilers, outdoor wood boilers, do-it-yourself, homemade outdoor wood boilers. Very specific keyword. Obviously, there are at least, what, 20? I think there were 23 different posts on this thread alone that people that are interested, and that's just on this forum. So that's kind of one of the ways that I use forums to explore niches. Also, you can see people are buying gold. You can, shotgun forums. These are things that people cross-promote, and so if you had something that was built for this, you very well could easily sell stuff about, guns, ammunition, gold, precious metals, again, shotguns, all that kind of thing. So hopefully that gives you some ideas. Like I said, these aren't as much about instruction per se as they are about just kind of getting your mind going and thinking about some ways that you can, dig deeper into what the internet's really telling us, and get some ideas and go with that. So, all right. Tom, okay, so Tom's question, he says, hi Fletch, do you follow a strict time management routine? Certain days I do, Tom. I tend to try to schedule about 3 days a week, 3 work days a week, and I try to follow those schedules as much as I can. And on those 3 days, I really look at my week and my month and my 90-day plan. I don't plan anything further than 90 days out. And make sure that I'm doing things on those 3 days that are going to make sure that I hit those goals. The other days, I'm really, really flexible. I give myself kind of permission to spend time exploring, investigating, thinking about, ways to either improve my business, open up new markets, connect with my, customers in better ways. So I find, and this is a, personality thing as much as it is anything, that I need structure, but I also need freedom at the same time. And the way I've found to do that is to take 3 days a week and say, hey, here from 5 till 3, this is what I'm doing. Next day from 5 till 3, this is what I'm doing. I'll have a day that's free. I don't say it's off. Sometimes it is off. Sometimes I go hike and play disc golf and go fishing, play with my kids. So it just kind of depends. There'll be, weeks that I probably put in 50 or 60 hours. And there'll be other weeks when I don't, when I put in, more like, 12 or 15. So what that does is it kind of gets you in the habit of saying, okay, it's work time or it's not work time. Sometimes, work, I won't say intrudes, but is the thing that you do even when you're not scheduled to do it. That's the beauty of working for yourself. But one of the reasons that businesses have worked so well for so long is that people are on the clock and they're expected to do certain things during certain hours. So I tried to carry as much of that over as was appropriate and was helpful. So, all right, David Duncan, hey Fletch, just realized you were having a session today. Oh, cool, man. Glad you jumped on. Michael, EE, that's a mobile phone network. Okay, not what you're looking for so much. Yeah. Depending, I know actually I've got some people who are who promote cell phones, T-Mobile and track phone and all that kind of thing, and they do pretty well. But yeah, I get it. I was just kind of showing as much as anything how you can go into those and find networks and stuff like that. Or I thought so anyway. Okay, cool. All right, David Duncan. I'm still trying to figure out how to deal with affiliate websites and affiliate URLs. Okay. Would the affiliate website be what's called a money site? Yes. So what you've got, let me show. I'm going to pull up my little diagram here again. I'm going to draw one real quick, and then I'll share it with you. So just doing a little type in here, and then I'll screen share over to it. So you've got your affiliate sales site. Okay, I'm going to grab my thing here. Screen share over to my little diagram. Looks almost the same, but I put different words here, okay? So for those of you who were on earlier, that's what we've got. Okay, so the affiliate sales site is going to be actually the site where the transaction takes place. That's not a site that you own, okay, David? That's going to be like if you were promoting, something on ClickBank. I actually can't think of anything off the top of my head, but Dow Badass or something like that, right? So that's going to be the Dow Badass website, the affiliate sales site. That's the one on the left there. The next one to the right of it is going to be the affiliate promotion site. That's your website. That's your money site. Why we call that your money site? That is the site that is going to generate your money. That's the site that we're trying to rank. Okay? Now we do that with our PBN sites. So those PBN sites on the far right there link to the affiliate promotion site and get that affiliate promotion site to rank, right? We want this thing to rank way up high. Well, I can't move this around the way I thought. This is and I grabbed the wrong mind mapper. Anyway, so this is the site that we want. I'm gonna make it green because green means money. Our PBN site is something we kind of keep in the background, and we use it to rank our green money site there. So on the left, the purple box, the affiliate sales site, that will be what people go to when they click your link. Like, hey, do you want to, go find out how to, pick up more women or whatever that the Dow Badass is about. That's going to be the site that they're taken to, that affiliate sales site. Money site is going, for affiliate purposes anyway, is going to be what we want to rank, and that's the site you own. And so it's actually one away from where the transaction takes place, but that's our purpose. That's what we're trying to rank. We'll get traffic on it, things like that. So hopefully that makes some sense. I'm going to go back over and share. There we go. Okay. All right, Michael, thanks, Fletch. Good tips. Thank you, thank you. All right, Susan, I'm brand new here, and I want to have success like you did in the first 60 days. Do you have your first 90-day plan, and can you share it? Excited and scared at the same time. Yeah, it's well, both of those tend to go together quite a bit. If you have not yet watched my 60-day day job killer series, Susan, since you mentioned it, I assume you have. But for those who are on the call that may not have, these are the core training, right? That's what we call it here, the core. Whoops, I grabbed everything. Core OMG training, big stuff. This is what we need to do with SEO to make things work, right? This is kind of some concept of what we're going to do with monetization and all that kind of thing. Most of the rest of the videos that we have in here are about the money getting aspects, okay? Specifically here we have monetization, which includes the lesson page here that we have in Hungly, which is direct mail. He uses direct mail to generate new leads and new customers. Web design, this is stuff that's going to help you with conversion. Network Empire, that's kind of a partner company that we do a lot of our research and stuff with. Amazon is a specific application of money making on Amazon. Kindle, of course, Amazon again. Mike Swanson, he kills it with financial stuff. So anyway, Greg's page, my page is here. My page has, of course, the login information for the office hours, right? And then these intro videos. These are things that I recorded when I was first asked. You can see my hair is all short here. Let's actually go back there. So I've got there's a time period that these were recorded over. Some of it's about conversion, some of it's about mindset, some of it's about what I was thinking about when I got into online marketing. So you're asking for my advice. I'm going to point you to what I thought was important enough to record videos on. So I've got these intro videos here, and then I've also got the 60-day day job killer, Susan. So this is a whole nother series of videos that are essentially about how I started. They were my kind of framework for how I approached clients, how I did my keyword research, how I built sites out, how I monetized with the pay-per-lead model, how I priced myself, all that kind of thing. So like I said, there's these 6 videos. This series is actually going to get expanded, and it's going to get kind of transitioned over into what's going to be the pay-per-call training that we're going to have within OMG. So those videos are recorded, and they are over to David. He'll get them posted sometime soon, and he has extremely good ideas about the most appropriate times to release those kinds of things. So that's what I would look at if I were you, Susan. And of course, like I said, I'm available on these office hours, but also in the Facebook group. So if you've got specific questions after having gone through that, be more than happy to help you. What I did kind of as a general overview, when I got involved with online marketing, even though the thing I wanted to do most was put climbing around in attics behind me, I did realize that that was one of my biggest assets. I not only knew the construction, I knew the product, and I'd been in front of 600 homeowners, and I knew what they wanted to know about. And so that then became the basis of what I could put out on the internet and multiply myself to let my websites essentially do what I used to have to take 3 or 4 hours to do before. And not only that, but it would be positioned perfectly in front of people who are looking for that information. So each and every person here has got experience in their life. I've talked to people recently who are very young, and they look at it as a detriment, or I've talked to people who were much older, and they looked at that as kind of a hindrance. And it's not. What you do need to do, though, is look at what you are, look at who you are, look at what you know, and figure out what that advantage is. David talks about it a lot within Law of Implication. You win first. You figure out what your advantage is before you start, because then you've already won before you even get going. All you need to do then is to follow this training, and you've got the right stuff in front of the right people, and you're good to go. So that's one of my biggest things, is to help put that together for people within OMG. It is a great platform to get your message out there and have a huge influence on. But too many people are like, oh yeah, well, I used to sell insurance, but now I want to be an online marketer. But, well, you can help people understand, insurance as an online marketer, and because you can help them understand it or answer their questions for them, they're most likely going to order through you. Even if you aren't the agent, you can help promote a different agent. So that's really the biggest suggestion I can make, is to look at who you are and what you know and who that could be valuable to, and start there. So great question, absolutely great question. I'm glad you asked that. Okay, Susan's. All right, David, thank you, Fletch. That adds a middle layer of website that I will need to build too, sounds like. No, actually, David, so that middle website, I may have misspoken. Hopefully I did not. That middle, let me do a share again and say, actually, let me do this. This is going to be better. All right, so I'm going to go grab my my little video here, because I do not want that. I may have confused you there. Don't want that to happen. Okay, so I changed a couple of the words on here. Okay, so this far left website here, you don't own this. This is the product owner's website. You're just sending traffic over there. The green site here is the one you own. You own the green site, and you own the one on the right here, your PBN site. All you need to do is rank this green site and send traffic over to the product owner's site on the left. You don't own the one on the left. So yeah, all you need to do is worry about your money site that's green here, and then your PBN sites, of course, on the right. Those are the only ones you own, the only ones you have any control over, the only ones you need to worry about. So hopefully that clears that up a little bit for you. And I do apologize about any confusion I may have led you to. Okay. Okay. All right, Michael, no, don't. Oh, so yeah, Michael's helping out. That middle website is the only one you need to build. Yep, acquired PBNs. Yeah, thanks, Michael, for that. Susan, awesome, thank you. Good to hear. Hopefully that helped out. So, yeah, we're about, just looking up here, about an hour 10 in. So we've got about 20 minutes. So yeah, if you do have some questions, get them in the chat box there. It has been an absolutely great session. I really appreciate you guys stepping out and asking questions. I know sometimes it's a little daunting, especially if you're first starting out, to think you're going to ask a question that makes you look foolish or whatever, and that's not the case at all. That's the reason we run these. You can ask the same question for the entire 4 months if you want. Hopefully you won't, because I think the purpose of having these is to move forward, to progress. We typically don't have that, but if you didn't get it the first time, if my answer was not sufficient to answer the question, just ask it again, or say, I still don't understand. And because the only real failure is to come away from this without really any knowledge that helps you move forward. So yeah, just keep asking questions if you don't get it yet. If I haven't done a great job of explaining it, so just gonna click through here real quick. Yeah, it's in good shape. Okay. All right, David. Yeah, I thought I was seeing it right. I was wondering if I could point the PBN site to the affiliate buy site. Yeah, you could, but you probably don't want to do that, David, because you would not get credit for the sale. What the link that you point to the affiliate buy site is going to include your affiliate code. That's what's going to let you get tracked for having made that that referral, and that's what's going to let you get paid the commission. So that's going to be a special type of link. It's going to be in ClickBank, I think they call it a hop link, is the terminology they use. It's essentially a link that goes through a shortener or a redirect service that gives you kind of a cookie that travels along with that visitor, so that you get credit for that site, or credit for that sale when it's made. So if you pointed a normal link at the affiliate site, you would help them rank, which would help them make more money, but it wouldn't necessarily help. It would help them make money. It wouldn't necessarily help you make money. What you could do if you wanted to do that, this is something I really haven't even thought about before now, is you could approach product owners in ClickBank to do SEO for them directly. And it's easier, I think, to just become an affiliate and sell and get paid a commission, but potential exists for you to pick up SEO clients who are product owners. That would be the only reason that you would probably want to point a PBN link directly at an affiliate site. So, okay, that was David. Susan, you rock, by the way. Thank you, Susan. I appreciate that. I tried. Michael, okay, you could dunk them, but then you wouldn't get any credit for sales. Yep, exactly right. All right, Brian, do you have any advice on finding a good outsource for building a money site or client website? We've got some good outsource videos. What you really want to do, I'll point you to them real quick here. I assume you may have seen them, may not have. This is really kind of the way we use for Freelancer, how to make money if you want to be an outsourcer. I actually did this when I first started OMG. I needed to make money, and I didn't have any money, so I couldn't really build my PBN. I did go out and get some local clients who were buying leads from me, but I needed more than that really to keep on top of things and pay our bills. So I jumped on a service called Elance, which is now changed. I think Freelancer is the name of it. It got either bought or it bought someone else, and they changed their name. Anyway, I essentially picked up a couple gigs as an SEO consultant, and made on one of them, I made, I think, $300 a month, and the other one I actually was making $1,000 a month. So definitely, that's not small change. I'm $1,300 a month for outsourcer work that I was doing. I thought I was pretty happy with that. So I was still working for Starbucks, or from Starbucks. I didn't have an internet connection at home, and I really didn't have any overhead, so that was pretty much pure profit. Anyway, so that's kind of talking about this. This last video here that Greg did, working in teams, it's another way that you can kind of partner up with people. That's what I wanted to kind of point you to. If there are some people in the group who are just starting out, they're like, dude, I don't have any money to buy a PBN, but I can make WordPress sites all day long. you can kind of just put an offer out and say, hey, you know, I've got a PBN, or I'm willing to buy PBNs, or you know, I'm willing to contribute this, but I'm looking for somebody else that I can work with that can do this part of it, because either I don't want to learn it, or I don't know it, or I don't have the time or the aptitude or whatever. More than, you know, that's a totally fine way to use that Facebook group. We actually recommend it. So it's a great way to connect with people and, you know, form teams and work together. Watch the video though, because they talk about a few specific ways to approach it and do it the right way. It's really one of the main things that really has helped OMG become what it is. Just with the way that Mike, David, and Greg work together. They each have their specific strengths. They get to focus on their strengths, and because of that, it has become as successful as it is. So it's a great way to grow a business without having to hire employees or pay a ton of money or whatever else. It's just a few people working together for a common goal. So I would do that. Beyond that, let me jump back over and see what the specific question was. Yeah, those are the two places I would look. You can either go grab an outsourcer. One of the things I was going to say is kind of a precursor to that, is to just make sure, and those videos do a great job, make sure that you're on top of what you want exactly. If you just told somebody on, you know, Elance or Freelancer, I want a money site built, they're not really going to know what to do. And even if they're very skilled and very affordable, you may not get what you want or what you need. So just make sure you define, you know, what you want really well. And sometimes, again, it's hard to know what you want without knowing how to do it. So that's one of the reasons that the teamwork stuff works pretty well. I myself am actually kind of doing some of that with some of the folks that I've met within the group, forming teams and kind of working for a common goal, each of us staying in our strengths. So it's a great way to go, Ryan. All right, David, thanks to everyone. Muchly appreciated. Oh, cool, man. Glad you got it finally there, David. Yeah, Michael, sorry, David, not sure I was addressing you by your last name. No big deal. Okay, cool. All right, Snowman. Build high voltage power lines, and people in my circle of influence do not use a computer. I would have no idea how to leverage my lineman skills to attract business. Does that make sense? It does, Stephen. I actually was I was a renewable energy developer for a long time, and I worked in right away. So there are industries that it's really hard to figure out what your strength or what your advantage is. Hit me up outside of the coaching session. Send me an email or a private Facebook message. I'll work with you on that, because everybody has them. Sometimes it just takes a little more digging or thinking to figure out what that would be. One of them could be, if you do have experience having done that, there are very likely a lot of people who wonder about getting into that industry, what the job is about, what the training is about, what the tools might be. And I would almost guarantee that there are some, you know, trade schools, that there are some tool companies that have affiliate programs, things along those lines that you might be able to do. That's just something that's coming off the top of my head. But there's going to be some things that you can make use of. I'm not saying that you have to limit yourself to that, but very often it is something that you can promote and promote well, just because you know it so well. So, but yeah, I'd be more than happy to work with you a little bit more on that. All right, Tom, had my first attempt at making an affiliate site about 2 months ago, but got penalized pretty quickly. Are you able to quickly analyze the site as to why it tanked quick if I provide it here? No, I'm not, Tom, because it would take a while to look at the entirety of the site, the backlink profile. I'd have to run it through 3 or 4 different link analyzers probably, and then put it into a spreadsheet. I'd be happy to take a look at it. If it was something that you created previous to coming into OMG, that happens quite a bit actually. We've got a lot of people who've been online marketers and specifically were trying to get some SEO traffic before they got involved. Make sure, if you want to do some self-diagnosis, which I always recommend because it helps you learn, I would be happy to work with you on it and trying to understand what was going on, though. But this preface, sink or swim, anchor text, and URLs is going to be where you want to start. This is going to help you understand the combination of URL, title tag, and anchor text and the way we use it currently. There's a download here for a notepad document that Greg uses to keep track of his planning for ranking, things like that. And then we've got this over-the-shoulder series. This is the build-out of the Franklin City Guide, Franklin, Tennessee City Guide, I think. Franklin, Tennessee Guide is the website. So this will also have a step-by-step build-out of the site that they put together. And because it is step-by-step like this, I think this video 4, yeah, so this is going to talk about the actual PBNs he's using and the anchor text, if I remember right. That's the video that you'll want to check out. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, that's for time. Hi, David. I was thinking I could put my affiliate link directly in the PBN site link to the affiliate buy site. You could, but again, your PBN site is not necessarily going to rank well. We use that intermediate site, that money site, because we can point several links from several different PBNs, PBN sites, to a single money site to get it to actually rank. Most likely, your PBN is not going to rank. I'm not saying it won't all the time. Actually, we'll get some traffic. It will rank for certain terms. We do sometimes use expired domains for money sites, but we typically make a distinction between PBN and our money sites. The Network Empire folks have different terminology for that, but they are along the same lines. They have kind of their core site that they're working on ranking and monetizing, and then the network is what they use to drive traffic and rankings to that central site. Okay, Michael, David, the confusion you're having is that the PBN sites themselves do not rank in Google. Right. They only transfer the power to our real money sites. Yeah. All right, Becca, hey, Fletch, can you help me with a hosting question? I set up my PBNs with one host, got private name servers for them, but now, whoops. Okay, but now have swapped hosts and got new IP addresses. Do I need to change the name servers to their names and back to private, or just the IPs? Okay, let me think about this real quick, what you've done here, Becca. Okay, so you had them set up, you had private name servers created. Those are going to be with the hosting company. But now you swapped hosts. Okay, so on your new host, yes, the new hosting company, what you need to do, yeah. Okay, so with your new hosting company that you have your new IP addresses on, you need to set up private name servers, okay, and then the associated IP address for each of those private name servers for each of those PBN sites, okay? And then go back over to your registrar, like GoDaddy or Namecheap or whoever you have. That name server can be the exact same name, but it's going to have a different IP address because that's a new IP address that's associated with that name server, okay? So you kind of have to go through the whole process again. The name server name will actually be the same, but the name server will be on a different IP address. And so because of that, you'll need to go back to the registrar and re-register that name server there, Becca. And then that should get everything rectified, should get your URL propagated, which means it shows up when you type it in the search bar or whatever. You don't have to necessarily go to private and then back again, but you do need to make sure that the name server that you have registered at your registrar has the new IP address with it. Okay. All right, David. Thanks, Michael. Issue is that I'm not really a copywriter that could put together a money site that points to an affiliate site. The affiliate site has already done a copy, so I was hoping to just use that somehow. Yeah, that's one of those things, David. You may just need to get somebody to help you with conversion, copywriting, whatever it might be. We kind of talked about some outsourcing. You can get an article writer. Pat Sava is an OMGer that I use, that I love. I would highly recommend him if somebody needs some articles written. He writes great articles. Doesn't always have to be copywriting, right? It can just be explain. It can just be describing what's going on. I did a whole video series on conversion and the different ways to make it work. Sometimes all you need to do is rank and get somebody on your site who sees a banner ad. Most of the ClickBank products have not only just your hop link, your regular link. They'll have an actual image there that'll say, hey, don't get stood up on Saturday night again, or lose 20 pounds in 20 days kind of thing. And you can just put that on your sidebar. You can just have a regular article about losing weight. And then they've done the work of creating, banner ads that you can put on your website, that if somebody clicks on that banner ad while they're reading just your normal article or watching a video that you went out to YouTube and got that you're commenting about, and they see that banner ad, they're like, oh yeah, I actually do want to lose 20 pounds the next 20 days. Let me see what this is about. That when they click on that, that'll take them over to the affiliate site, and then their copywriting and stuff takes over, right? So you don't have to necessarily be a great copywriter on a money site to get somebody to click on one of your offers. So here's a great example of that. Let me see if I can find it real quick for you. Maybe this will help. Okay, so yeah, here, this is kind of just a weird, this is all affiliate offers, right? Okay, so this big banner ad here, limited time, become a free member or get a free cookbook or whatever. If you scroll down at all here, this isn't the best page for it. Let me look at so any of these pages, so this is just an article about potatoes, right? Are potatoes paleo? Right? This is a diet book. This is list building up here. This sign up for the digest to get the 3 steps to paleo. Get your autographed copy today. Look at this. See? Nice, pretty banner ad. This article is just about potatoes. Look, back in the early 1980s, before I discovered paleo. Glycemic index. This is not copywriting at all. This is technical, just stuff, right? But right here, if I click on this, then this is a sales site. This is Infusionsoft cart, right? So, it doesn't always have to be a lot of copywriting. This was not the one I was thinking about. Let me see if I can find a different one. But you get the idea, I think, or I hope you do. Rob Wolf, he's another kind of big person in this niche. Yeah, so, he just got content out here, right? Here's a program, the Paleo Solution. On Amazon. An Amazon affiliate link. So, in this particular piece of content, do you want to lose fat and stay young all while avoiding cancer, diabetes, heart disease, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and host of other illnesses? This actual piece of content, look at this. So, book reviews, right? I have a feeling this is taken right off the back cover of this book. I don't know, but because it's used to promote this book, it's fine. He's actually kind of quoting the source here. No big deal, right? You can do that. It's not a problem. You can go to the affiliate site that you want to promote, find some of their copy and say, hey, there's this crazy guy over here who says he can help you lose 20 pounds in 20 days while eating anything you want. I'm not sure if I believe it, but maybe you should go check it out. That could be your copy. It doesn't have to be super salesy or anything else. It could just be informational. All right. All right, Michael, pro tip, don't try to be salesy using the money side, be journalistic and helpful. Yep, journalistic is actually a great conversion strategy. You get to be the reporter. You get to have done the investigation and report on what's going on. Great tip there, Michael. When visitors perceive you as impartial, they trust you more and buy more. Absolutely. Relies on choosing a good offer as well. Yeah, Tom. Okay, thanks. See, cool thing. Great idea. Yep. And Michael, Fletch, seems to be different opinions on these two. How do you prefer EMDs, PMDs, branded domains? Also, how do you decide what to put on the homepage? Some people only put the main review or articles on internals, and others put it on the homepage. You know, it depends on my strategy. So typically with bigger sites, I will let the homepage carry the blog roll and put articles there. With the smaller sniper sites, I want some kind of conversion stuff on the homepage, Michael, and so I will treat the homepage as just a regular page that is most likely going to get the most traffic. And in those situations, actually EMDs, PMDs, and branded all work. I have exact match domains that continue to rank. They rank well. But what you do need to do is just to be mindful of how much keyword stuffing in the URL, the title, and your anchor text you're going to be able to do. If you've got, so like, as a concept, you know, there's nothing wrong with having, you know, spinal decompression Phoenix. That's an exact match domain, right? But if I had, you know, 100 links going to it that all said spinal decompression Phoenix, and there was no address, there was no anything else, Google's going to pretty quickly be able to see that that is, if nothing else, a lead gen site, which, you know, Google's not as apt to promote or rank well a lead gen site as it is a regular business. So what I try to do is to make most of my sites just look like a business of some sort, you know, or a review site, which is a legitimate value. So what I try to do when I'm thinking about putting a new site together is to really figure out what my value is going to be. You know, everybody's got to contribute something for a transaction to take place. There's the person who's actually going to provide the service. There's the visitor who's likely going to be paying for the service. What's your value going to be? You hit the nail on the head a few posts ago with your journalistic, you know, kind of approach, and that's the value. Carry that value through your URL and your domain, and it works. So as long as you got, pardon me, pay attention to anchor text, you're going to be fine with any of those. I use them all. I use them all still. I'm trying to think. I don't think there's really any tendency now for me to do one more than the other. You know, the trend seems to be higher domain authority is working more now than it was before, but the site I showed you about spinal decompression has domain authority much, much, much lower than everybody else on that first page, and it still ranks #1. And it's because of the value. You just think about the value, provide the value, put the value in the content, and you're going to get good on-page metrics. You're going to get good traffic metrics, and you're likely going to do well with your conversion as well. All right, I feel like it may depend on the function and size of the site. Yep, I can't figure out the full picture. Because each of them work. They're each just a different picture, you know, and it depends. You know, it just depends on what you want to do with the site. All right, Beck, awesome. Thank you. Good to hear. You got some good value out of that. David Duncan, yes. Thank you, Fletch. Gives me more ideas. Cool. All right, guys. So we're at an hour-and-a-half mark. I'm going to actually have to wrap it up in just a couple minutes because I've got another webinar I need to jump over on with Mike. So I'm going to give this a few minutes here to catch up with the lag time that we've got, make sure there aren't any last-minute questions because I want to send everybody off with definitely some inspiration and questions answered so they can get some good work done. But I'm just going to kind of hang tight for a minute or two here and then wrap things up. And then my next coaching session is not yet scheduled. I'm going to talk to David and get that out there. But moving forward, if you remember Project Juggernaut, I'm going to have much more regular office hours. They will be, most likely, will fluctuate because we have members all over the world, and we want to do everything we can to make sure that people can attend them live. So it's looking like right now I will have at least one office hour per week, and it will tend to change. But that schedule will be posted in the OMG Machines membership area. And that's, again, the place you guys need to continue to check out to keep up to speed with latest updates and schedules and things like that. Greg's office hours will be posted there. Mike's acceleration webinars will be listed there as well. So, all right, Beck, hey, Fletch, thanks for answering my previous question. I have 10 PBNs. How many sites can I use them on? Say if I use 10 links, one on each to one site. Okay, if I use 10 links, one on each to one site. Okay, so you've got 10 links going to one money site, and then I use 4 to another site, and then 1 to, say, 6 others. Is that a footprint? How many PBNs do you actually need? So one of the things that you want to kind of be aware of or mindful of, Becca, is that you can have, up to 10, really 10 posts on each of your PBN sites, and each of those 10 posts can have links that go to money sites that can help money sites rank. What you've described there is not a footprint, as long as you pay attention to what they're pointing to. So the answer is, how many money sites are you going to want to have? There tend to be more PBN sites in people's holdings than money sites. But there are also most often fully utilized PBN sites in everybody's network. I've got a lot that only have 1 or 2 links coming from them, where I could have up to 10. I just don't have enough money sites to make use of that, which is fine. It just, it is what it is. But what you really want to do is to get a spreadsheet going and keep track of when you posted a link, just like Greg shows. When you posted a link, where it came from, what your anchor text was, what the target URL is, and keep track of things that way. Because what that will help you do is to say, oh, wait a second here, I've already got a link from each of my PBN sites to this website. If I want more links, or if I need more links, or if I want to start ranking for more keywords, I'm going to have to get more PBN sites. Or say, oh, I've got, one link from each of my 10 PBN sites going to the one money site that I have. How can I, make more money with this? Well, maybe the answer is to build another money site so that you can make use of, a second link on each of those PBN sites going to a different money site. Now, what I would not do is to have the exact same 10 PBN sites linked to the exact same 5 or 6 money sites. That is going to create a footprint. It doesn't look good, and you just don't need to do it most of the time. So Greg does a pretty good job. He's got a diagram that he uses to explain how that works. Yeah, for the most part, you want to kind of randomize it. What you described there is not a footprint. It looks really good. But if you do need to get more links going to that first money site you talked about, you probably want to buy some more PBN sites, or make use of some other properties that we could take care of, which are, Web 2.0 properties, social platforms, and things like that. So those PBN links are definitely where it's all at money-wise, as far as the power that they have. But there are some other things we can do to help kind of legitimize our websites, make them look more real, more natural, and also give them some power. And we do that from creating a Twitter feed and connecting it to a website, or a Pinterest page, or a YouTube channel, or whatever it might be. Vimeo is another channel that you can create that doesn't have to have a Google sign-in. So if you're worried about that footprint, you can go that direction too. So, all right. All right, Brian, thanks, Fletch. Absolutely. FYI, your Lucky 7 video, I think, is awesome. Hey, cool. I'm glad you actually checked that out. Yeah, Brian's referring to a series that I did that is available on my YouTube channel. I think, maybe 18 different videos that cover a lot of these concepts that we talked about, kind of conversion and just, figuring out your marketing, really, as much as anything. Not specifically about SEO, just mostly about marketing and things like that. So I appreciate that that you got some value out of that, Brian. Thank you. David, thanks, Fletch, and everyone. It's been a great session. Cool. Glad you got a lot out of it. Becca, so if I have for money sites, is 10 a little? It depends on the niche you're in and how many links you're going to use. But yeah, most likely you'll want to grow your PVN a little bit, Becca, if you've got 4 money sites, because you're going to have to. You can use all 10 of these to link to one of them. Oops, kind of got weird there. You can use all 10 of these to link to one of the money sites, but that second money site is only going to be able to have, 6. And then the third money site, maybe the other 4. And then the fourth money site, maybe it takes 5. That's a combination of the 6 and the 4, if that makes sense. So it just depends kind of on how many links you need to rank for the terms that you're going to go after. It might be totally fine. And sometimes you just got to get in and try it, because it's hard to know before you start linking. All right, Michael, thanks, Fletch. First time attending. I really enjoyed it. Appreciate the tips, and it's casual, small group style. Cool, man. Yeah, I'm glad you were on for sure. What's Greg's diagram you mentioned about footprints? It's in the PBN section. Yeah, actually here. He talks about it here and the way he uses it. So this is the over-the-shoulder video 4, and then I think he talks about it again in. Yeah, 5 and 6 here, and then I think he also, it may be in this first series here. Oh, these are just the updates, aren't they? Just looking around if I see it real quick. I'm not sure exactly where that is now, Becca. But yeah, if I wasn't real clear on that, maybe I'll try to put together some kind of a diagram that helps show. But again, there aren't rules so much as there are concepts, and so the concept is, not to create something that's a footprint. So, oh, that was Michael. So, yeah, I'm not sure exactly where that is, but Becca, thank you. You're rock. Pat, good. I'm glad you learned a lot. Glad you were on. Okay, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. Again, check your news feed for scheduled office hours moving forward, and I'll catch up with everybody in the group. I hope everybody had a great time. Sounds like everybody got some questions answered, so definitely happy about that. Otherwise, I will see you next time. So take care, and yeah, we'll get some SEO done. We'll make some money. We'll talk to y'all soon. Thanks.